UK already has 60 trade agreements. MEP erupts at Brussels hardballing over Brexit deal. Finnish MEP Laura Huhtasaari lashed out at the EU's fear-mongering tactics in its negotiation with the UK, as she pointed out that the British side has already concluded 60 trade agreements outside of the bloc. Laura Huhtasaari condemned the EU's plot to stop Britain from taking back control of its borders, laws and fishing waters. The Finnish MEP delivered a furious rant against Brussels, as she urged the EU to look in the mirror. She pointed out that UK has already concluded 60 trade agreements, before adding, "I'm actually envious of the Brits." Speaking in the European Parliament, the MEP said, "Why is the EU so unattractive that Norway and Switzerland don't want to join? Why does the UK want to leave? Has the EU looked in the mirror to actually see what is going on?" The UK has already concluded 60 trade agreements, but it seems impossible for them to conclude one with the EU. They want to take back control of their borders, their laws and their fishing waters. Ms. Huhtasaari added, "They also want to be free of the EU's Court of Justice. That's obvious because the UK wants to be an independent sovereign state. Boris Johnson should ensure that Brits get back the things they voted for, and the EU has to stop being fearful of that. The EU often says, if you leave this EU paradise, then things will go badly for you. We have to stop fearmongering about the future. What will happen to the EU in the future and its member states? Only time will tell. I am envious of the Brits because they can actually do something in the world now." The Finnish MEP has previously told European Parliament that it was time for the UK to look after itself and achieve Brexit. The Eurosceptic has urged Mr. Johnson to take back control of its waters in a stinging attack on Brussels. Last month, Ms. Huhtasaari led a protest in Helsinki calling for Finland to leave the EU. She spoke to hundreds of Eurosceptic people who took to the streets in front of the Finnish Parliament House. Earlier in the European Parliament session, the EU's chief negotiator warned that there are just a few hours left for the UK and EU to agree a post-Brexit trade deal. Michel Barnier said it was the moment of truth for the two sides to come to an agreement. He said there was still a chance of a deal, but the path is very narrow.